Hello and happy National Pet Day. I am so excited to introduce to you one of my original tangles called PAWZ, P-A-W-Z. So we are going to have fun today learning PAWZ and some different things that we can do with it. You see here in this one, I've done a border at the bottom, plus some flowering paws. This would be a more dramatic type of a border. And then I put it together this way. It almost looks more flower-like. This one looks the least like the paws that it is made up of, I believe. And here is your very simple step out. So let's put this aside. We're going to grab our tile. We'll be using an 01, an 01 black micron, our Zentangle pencil, and a tortillon. If you do not have these specific items, I welcome you to use whatever it is that you do have. Any kind of pencil, you can use a Q-tip instead of a tortillon. You can use even a tissue, and really any pen will work. So, to start off, let's take a deep breath. We're going to let any stress that is on our table just sit there. We're going to move to a different table. And we are just going to appreciate this time that we are taking for ourselves. So let's start, as most Zentangle projects do, with a dot in each corner. And then we are going to, of course, this is all with our pencil, drawing as lightly as we can so that only we can see it, because we're really not sure what parts of those lines we're going to use or not use, and we don't have an eraser to erase it at the end. It's just going to have to disappear. Okay, so let's start with, I think I'm going to do the flowering tile that I created. So we're actually not going to do the border at the bottom as I had it in my picture. We're just first going to start with a stem. Mine right now is going to be a crooked stem, an arched stem. And I did switch to my micron pen. Now once I have the stem, I'm going to come away from it a bit. The first part of PAWZ is we draw the bottom, and then we're going to come up and over, kind of in a cloud shape. Then we're going to put the puppy's pads on. So I think of that tallest hill, and I want to get two very oval-like shapes, but a little more pointy at the top, almost egg-like. See how they're right here hovering over the largest hump. And then we're going to drop down into this lower dip. And we're going to put one there and then one on the other side. Then what we're going to do is we want to give some dimension to it. So we're going to put some weight on one side of that paw pad. And we're going to follow that same side on everything that we drew. And the last step for PAWZ is to put a very thin aura, which is going to glue all 5 of these pieces together. And there we have it. Now, I can just do this as a single paw, just like that. So I'm going to extend my stem. It's not really in the center, but that's okay. It wasn't exactly my plan at the beginning. Now let's do one a different way. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to again do a stem. We don't have to do the stem first. We could wait and do it last. Now in this case, I'm going to do a smaller pause. So I have to come away to leave room for the 4 pads. So this one is going to be much smaller. And I'll show you why in a moment. As we get in those 2, we come down a little bit. Now I've got the 4. Because it's smaller, your weighted areas will be smaller also. And then I'm going to turn it back around. And now I'm going to put a bigger one over top. Okay, we do our 2 pads over the top hump. And the 2 down at the bottom. This time, I'll switch my weighted area to the other side. Part of the reason that I did that is because the flower-like top that I'm putting on this one, I had these. They were on the left side, but that's because I turned my tile around. So I want that little shade, that little shadow to be in the same area. And now I'm going to aura the whole thing together. Instead of auraing each, I want it to look like it's one piece. So I'm going to aura all of them together. And that's a little different version of what I had here. So now I'm just going to continue to add, how about, I'll do one that waves a little. Again, we easily could have done, I will try to do it on the next one, we easily could have done the PAWZ first and then added the stem. That part's up to you. I think this time, for whatever reason, I just want them to be a little different. Put my weight there. I don't know that I really like that, but once we do it, we're sticking to it. Right. Because we're in ink, we commit and we don't worry. So since I have it down on the bottom of that one, I will mimic the same thing in this one. Extra weight. And then we aura it all together, very thin aura. Just so that it's one. Okay, let me this time try to remember what I told you. So I am going to, I don't want to have this one single one here all by itself. That doesn't sit too well with me. So I'm going to put one up here. I will have it go in the same direction. And let's see what it's like if we do the PAWZ first instead of the stem. It will give us a little more control over the length of the stem, where it starts. But again, you can do it however you like as far as the stem goes. Okay, and I'm not putting the bottom on this one because I was trying to make that one not look like a mistake. It'll just be a variation of what I'm doing. Okay, now how do we want that stem to come? I think now I'm going to take it, make it go behind and down. Okay, so I'm just going to keep adding them. I do believe I like doing the stem after, because then we wouldn't have had this little challenge that we had over there. But as always, no worries. It just means that my piece will go in a slightly different direction than what I originally had planned it to be. Some of my best techniques or choices come from things that I learned in fixing those mistakes. Let's do this one. I'm even going to do this one with both of them the same size. Let's see what happens with that, or at least roughly the same size. Can't be perfect, right? Again, I just shifted my weighted area so that it matched the one that I already drew, only because I'm going to aura them together as one. I'm going to do that right now. So once I created this tangle, which completely, oh, you know what? I would have put the stem here, but now for some reason, I'm seeing something happen over here. And in fact, I'm gonna make another pause come out the top where I only see part of it. And then I believe that my weight would go more down here to match. It wouldn't be here because I don't see the bottom. This is a true example of no plan and your piece kind of telling you what it wants to do. Let's see. I kind of like that. I hadn't done that combination before. Similar to the one that looks more like a flower, but that's really different, and I think I'm kind of fond of that. All right, let's see. I do think I want another one up here. Now I've lost my train of thought, and I do not remember what I was telling you. That's okay. I try to tell myself that if it were really important, then I'd remember. Deciding what I want to do with this one. I think I'll just leave it. So when I created this tangle, I really didn't know how I was going to be able to use it in with other tangles. I was just sitting on the sofa admiring my little 7-pound Morkie, his name is Tucker, admiring the pads on his feet. I just think they are the cutest darn things. And because I admire them so much, I thought, you know, let's see what we would do with a tangle like that. So now my choice is to either continue adding more, which I could totally do, or add a different tangle in and amongst it. My typical go-to would be Muka, but I just did a video of the chick using a lot of Muka, so I want to show you something else. So how about if we add let's add some print humps. Clearly I am making this up as I go along. So we'll add some printemps and some orbs because they always go so nicely together. Those orbs help us to fill some of the space that is not being taken up by our printemps. There we go. That one's hiding a little bit behind there, and I like that. I also like to add just a little bit of weight where things touch. Just adds a little something extra.